Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Brandon Godden. As always, by my side is Charles Davis. So the final tune-up for the regular season, and probably not going to really see much starter action out here in this one, are we?
You're right. Not much in the way of starters, key veterans, key backups. But the guys who have to make the team, struggling for those few spots that are open, we'll see them the entire time. But you and I both know this as well. There will be a surprise cut or two from guys who didn't actually play in this game tonight thinking that they were safe.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
4 yards the results on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Good job, D. Good job.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Lacey, he's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A give to Cook out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Lacey. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This one from 48 yards away. And his kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So it'll remain to be seen how many drives this unit gets in, this being the preseason. But here they start with 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll actually see them anymore. They got 3 points on the board, 1 drive here in preseason. In this game, baseball caps, NFL approved, of course, for everyone.
So now the Bengals get ready for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Look at me, zipper!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Down. 60 or. I got 2 pump. Double time. Hey, 4 down. Bristol, travel. Watch 89.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
You ready? X3. 218, chop. Watch the screen.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
53, check 53. And pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Completes it to Hardman. Touchdown, Vikings! Nico Hardman, 47 yards. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Switch. Six guys. Check six guys.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Newton. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotted?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting...
Oh, now Greer, he fumbled the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This one hauled in by Sample. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll set up a throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. They were looking to throw, holding on a big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on third down, Greer. And he'll find Hall. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Newton. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll look to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, his 2nd sack of the night.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the 2nd quarter. So get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot. Because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going to throw right side here, complete. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
60 Pittsburgh.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. This will be caught inside the 10. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go. 50, plant. Check, 59. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, man. Hey, Foxtrot. Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Hit it.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Second and 9 now. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. So we are halfway through here in the final week up. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Again, it's Jones. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a handoff working right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this one's incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape. One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Ronald Jones ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Key to tight end.
On 2nd and 12, Greer looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Greer looks to throw, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Bengals will... Take over in terrific field position.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. They can't hang with us. 5.
And to give this time to the tailback. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Now.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And this is gonna wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. That's complete to the tight end Sample. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Hey, alert 3.
On 4th down, Holloway. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hall. And he takes it down to the 40. The pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he gets it down to the 32. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workman-like right there, getting that 1st down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workman-like.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Greer, incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And his kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game of 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They give him a gain of 37.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
2nd and 6. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. From the gun, Holloway. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. and somehow incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And now out comes Minnesota. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Holloway. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Holloway. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Holloway. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Morgan. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. 53 yards. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw, Greer. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air. Greer on 2nd down. Complete. This is Lewis. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And some room to work. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 37 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now, it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now a handoff here to his running back. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 13. And time, a huge factor. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10.
Down. 50, plant. Who that? Get it.
Greer on 1st down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Hey, let's go.
The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. To try again after the sack. Greer throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Greer. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Greer. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.